you. So basically, I want to know when I use these phrases to describe myself, or if someone uses these phrases in their bio or in their elevator pitch or in an interview or in any capacity, if they use this term to describe themselves, to talk about themselves, how strongly do people believe in the trustworthiness or authority of that person? Now, let me tell you what this is all about. So back in August 2015, that would make it about 1.75 years ago, I started an experiment, a human experiment, and I called it the Language of Persuasion experiment. And basically what I did was that I wanted to get real evidence. So we know, for example, that some pages work really well, some brands sell really well, some opt-in pages get like 90%, 80% conversions, and then there are other opt-in pages that get like 20% conversion. And then you tweak a few things and you tweak the other things, and that's what everyone tells you, right? Test it, test it, test it. So what I basically wanted to do was I wanted to actually see that all these big guns and all these big names in our industry that everyone follows, there are very specific phrases that they use over and over again in their copy. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to see if I take those phrases up, kind of separate in isolation, if I tried to test the emotional impact of those phrases, how does that work? Because when you use those phrases in the context of a celebrity or a big gun, it's different. But when we try and copy someone, these big guns, we don't realize is that some of those phrases, if taken in isolation, may or may not work, right? So I collected, in August of 2015, I collected 100 of these phrases, and not taking any names, but all of these phrases were taken from my own swipe file of people that I follow. Some of them I follow them because they're really good. Some of them I follow them because I can't believe why they're so good, why they're so popular, because, you know, they're quite mediocre. Anyway, so I collected those 100 phrases and I created a survey to assess the emotional impact of those phrases. So for example, if you are going to be using a phrase, when you are talking about money back guarantee, right? I wanted to see what that phrase made people feel, right? Because we might want to just swipe that phrase and use it for our own, but we should be able to know whether, you know, compared to out of 5 phrases, which phrase should be the strongest when used in the context of putting someone's mind at ease, right? And that is really what the experiment was all about. So I've been running this experiment I put in a lot of money in the beginning, but then I stopped collecting responses, and then I started off again, and I pumped a lot of money into this because I was running Facebook ads to get people to fill out this survey. And now I have 10,000 responses on the Language of Persuasion survey, and I can't wait to share those results with you. And that's what this crazy experiment is all about. So, oh, thank you. Don says, what an awesome background. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like it. So, so first of all, I want to know from you, don't you think that's the most exciting thing? Because you will finally, I was really shocked by some of those phrases, by the way, but it's interesting because now you finally know what kind of emotional response a certain phrase gets, right? Because now we have data to back it up. So we're not just throwing a phrase out there and thinking, oh, you know, because so-and-so used it, I'm just going to put it and hope for the best. And, or I'm just going to put it and then I'm going to wonder, oh, why isn't my page converting? You know, I used the same language, the same kind of phrases that those people are using. Why is it not working? And the results of this experiment will actually very eye-opening, because back in 2015 when I did it, I only had about 2,200 responses from 18 countries. But now I've expanded the survey. I now have 21 countries that I ran these experiments in, as in ran the ads and collected the survey answers from. And I also have about 10,000 people who took the survey. And so tell me, first of all, who's excited to know the results of this survey? Because I'm excited to tell you. So I'm not baiting you. I'm dying to tell you, but I want to know if you are as nerdy as I am and if you're as excited as I am, because I am pretty dang excited about this. But 10,000 responses, yes, Michelle, but gosh, I have to tell you, I spent a lot of money on this. So to answer Beverly's question, so when I started doing it in the beginning, what I did was that I did not run it so I did not use my audience for it at all. I ran it for different demographics and different psychographics in all these 21 countries. So I literally did not target my audience. I targeted entrepreneurial market. And I targeted people who are interested in digital media, but did not target any of the audience that I normally target for my ads. So that's thing number one. In the beginning, when I did it, what I did was that I offered every participant, I offered an Amazon gift card. And that's why the dollars racked up super fast. But this time when I did this, I had a poll. So you would basically submit a survey, and then you would be eligible for a draw, which lowers the responses that come in because people are not as attracted to draws, but it's lighter on the pocket, right? I cannot give a $10 or $5 in some cases Amazon card to everyone. So this round, when I started doing about 8 months ago, I did a draw. So every 1,000, or I think, was it 500 or 1,000? Either 500 or 1,000, we would get a draw and we would get 3 winners. So that's how I did it. Okay, so tell me who is excited about knowing these phrases, because to me, this is so dang exciting. It'll be worth it in the long run for you. Yes, absolutely. I'm a certified nerd. I'm a nerd. Yes, there is that element of being a nerd, but also I really wanted to see, I'm really curious because I have found myself using these because I hang out in the same, we all hang out in the same groups and follow the same people. I catch myself using the same phrases over and over again. And I had to know whether they work or they don't work, whether they evoke the kind of emotion that I'm trying to evoke, right? So there's also this insistent need to know, to be able to say, to be able to find out which one works and which one does not work. So I'm just going to open my sheet to share that with you. Okay, and if any one of you is here who is a member of 60-Second Persuasion, could you take a moment and share this also in 60-Second Persuasion and tell the peeps in 60SP to come join us, because we are nerding out over persuasion, right? So they might as well just be here. So please, if you could do that, that will be awesome. And if you have another community that you hang out in and you feel like they can benefit, because I'm going to be sharing those phrases with you. So if you think the other people who would be interested, please feel free to share it. Okay. So let me open my sheet. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm just going to pick a few and share those with you. Because obviously we don't have the time to go through all 100 phrases. Okay, but the first thing that you should know is that if you are not a member of 60-Second Persuasion, you should become a member of 60-Second Persuasion, because as soon as I'm done with this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it in the 60-Second Persuasion, pin it to the top of the group, and then add a link to the PDF that shares all the winning phrases. Now, I'm not sharing all the phrases that I've tested. I'm not even sharing how I interpret those results. I'm not sharing my take on it, but you will still get a PDF that will at least give you the winning phrases, right? So if you want to get this emotion, you should be using this phrase. So as an example, I wanted to test that if when someone makes a claim about a product, right? Whatever that claim is. And I tested, how many? I tested 6 phrases to understand which one makes me believe in that claim the most, right? So the question was, how strongly do you believe a claim about a product when it is preceded by the following word or phrase? And the phrases that I tested were undeniably, unquestionably, irrefutable proof, miracle solution, definitely, and absolutely. So any guesses on which one were the winning phrases? I'm going to repeat those. Undeniably, unquestionably, irrefutable proof, miracle solution, definitely, and absolutely. So I want you to make a guess and tell me which one do you think were the winning phrases and which one were the losers, which one were the duds, because there were a few duds. We need to be aware of the duds. I don't think it's as important to know the winners as it is important to know the duds, right? Because we don't want to end up using a phrase that does the opposite effect, that has the opposite effect. We want people to believe in our claim, and instead it makes our claim look weak, right? So I think that the big danger is not that they will not feel compelled to believe us. I think the bigger danger is that they will think that we are, we're just stupid. They don't believe us at all. I think that's the bigger danger. Okay. So let me know. Okay. Hey, Bianca. Thank you, darling. Okay. Someone has got to take a shot. Absolutely or definitely, undeniably, irrefutably. Okay. So undeniably and irrefutably and undeniably, those are absolutely the winners. But I also want to know, which one do you think are the duds? Like total duds, where people basically said, because I gave them two categories. I said, is it weak because it is overused, or is it weak because it is off-putting, right? So the choices that I gave them were a very strong, mildly strong, and weak because it is overused, or weak because it is off-putting, because there is a difference, right? Sometimes we find a word and it's just off-putting to us, right? It's just not in that context. It's just, we're like, please just don't use that word. Or in some cases, the word doesn't have an effect on us because it is so overused. So I want to know which two are the duds, because that is the most exciting thing. And okay, so miracle solution, off-putting, and the absolutely and definitely overused. Oh my God, Dominique, absolutely. You win this round of something. I don't even know what we are trying to win here, but you're absolutely right. The miracle solution was considered off-putting, and definitely and absolutely were considered overused. There was one phrase, I don't know whether I said that before, there was one phrase that had no impact. It was neutral, like it was, half of the people said it's strong, half of the people said it's weak. So obviously when you balance it out, the overall response is just neutral. But I think what we need to do is we need to focus on the words on the winners and the duds, because those are the ones that make or break something, right? Okay, so let's look at the, for miracle solution, I agree. Oh God, yes. But see, that's the thing, people still use it because they see others using it, right? So now you know that if you use it, if you use this word to make a claim, you may want to use it, I don't know, in a testimonial, that's fine. But if you are yourself making a claim and then you're using this phrase, then it does not have the desired impact. Okay, who wants more? Who wants more? Who wants more? Who wants more? Tell me if you want more. Tell me if you want more. So we have a sandstorm going on in Jeddah today, which means that my kids are home because they cannot go out to play because... I
can't go out?
Come say hi.
Hello, people.
Hello, people. Well, people can't see you, but you can say hi.
Well,
why are you wearing my headband?
It's mine.
It's mine.
Yours is a pink one.
I don't share pink because I don't like pink.
I said I wanted this one.
Okay, say hi. Okay, so don't need to continue doing the bratty thing. Outside?
Yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yeah. It's only windy.
Okay. Okay, go check if your friends are out. Otherwise,
they are.
Okay.
Someone called me.
Okay. Okay, so you can go.
I'm famous. Everyone calls me.
I'm famous. Everyone calls me. I'm not famous. No one calls me. So yeah, it's kind of sad. But yeah, that's how it is. My daughter is more popular than I am, but that's fine. That's fine. Cute kid. Yeah, I was going to use for miracle solution. Good. Yay. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So, I want to know, people, do you want to know more phrases, or do you just want me to cut to the chase and just give you the list? Let me know. I promise I can take that. So I promise. Listen, I deal with rejection and dejection in my house every single day, because the way she treated me is exactly how everyone in the house treats me. So I can totally handle rejection and dejection. So if you just want me to cut to the chase and give you the PDF with all the phrases, I am fine. I promise I won't mind. If you want me to go through it and share the methodology, and I'm not going to go through all 100, but I just want to take you through the ones that I feel are most important. But totally feel free to tell me, you know what, Bushra, just give me the PDF. We don't want to see your face. It's enough. I promise I won't. I promise I won't feel bad. Hey, Anne, thank you so much, darling. I'm glad that you like my background. It is a plastic sheet, but I'm glad you like it. Someone actually mistook it for a custom wall. And I was like, wow, you really think you really place a lot of value in who I am as a person, because you actually think that I would put together a custom wall in my closet. Wow. People really do think highly of me, but this is a plastic sheet, a / shower curtain / improvised backdrop. So I'm so glad you like it, Anne. Okay. Okay. Michelle says more. I got to listen to Michelle because she is a hottie, and I'm sorry that I'm that shallow, but that's who I am. Okay. Let me take you through another one. Okay. This one is interesting. This one is interesting. Okay. The question was, how strongly do you believe in the trustworthiness or authority of a person when they used these words to describe themselves? So I'm going to read out the phrases and I'm going to tell you. So basically, I want to know, when I use these phrases to describe myself, or if someone uses these phrases in their bio or in their elevator pitch or in an interview or in any capacity, if they use this term to describe themselves, to talk about themselves, how strongly do people believe in the trustworthiness or authority of that person? And the phrases that I tested were guru, ninja, magician, expert, master, mentor, and masterpiece. And I promise there are people out there who use the word masterpiece to describe themselves. And I know it sounds unreal, and I know it sounds horribly, insufferably narcissistic, but there are people who use the word masterpiece for themselves. We live in a strange, strange world. I swear, we live in a really strange world. But again, the phrases that I tested were guru, ninja, magician, expert, master, mentor, and masterpiece. So let's talk about the first one. Which one do you think was the winner? So that's the one that I'm most interested in. Which one of these do you think was a winner? So if you want to describe yourself using one of these phrases, which one should you choose? God, I'm really eager to hear. Okay, expert, guru, okay, mentor. Okay. Okay. Any more guesses? Expert, guru, mentor, any magician, okay. Okay, mentor or guru, okay. Okay. Okay, mentor or expert. Okay, ready for the answer? It gives me so much pleasure to give you this answer. Are you ready for the answer? All of these are duds. It is just, all of these are duds. And I think what it boils down to, so half of these were because they were overused and the other half were because they were off-putting. There were very few people who were neutral about this. And there were, again, very few people who said that they felt strongly about the trustworthiness of these people. But majority, a heavy majority, and I don't remember the percentages, but a heavy majority basically said that they are duds. And I think my analysis of this is, I think it all boils down to our disdain for people who are show-offs, our disdain for people who are, who just place who are basically narcissists. And I have to mention this. This may not be true for someone who does not have a college degree. So the people that I focused on, my demographic were people who were educated above a certain income bracket and are college educated. But let's just say you are targeting college students, right? You're targeting fresh graduates, or you're targeting people who are from a lower income bracket. They may look at these terms and they may feel like, oh, someone is a mentor, then that's awesome. But for majority of the people who are above a certain income bracket, or who have a college degree, would most likely not respond well to these phrases. But it is exciting to see that people continue to use these. They introduce themselves using these phrases in interviews. They introduce themselves using these in their Facebook lives. They introduce themselves on their websites using these phrases. And here's my tip for you. If you want to talk about yourself as a mentor or as an expert, I don't think there is inherently anything wrong with the word. I think it's the context. When you use it to describe yourself, that's where the negative association comes from. So what I would recommend you do is, if you're using those words for yourself, then you may want to describe yourself. You may want to say something like, my students refer to me as, or I have been mentioned in such and such magazine as something, or people like to call me as something. So instead of just saying, I am a guru, or I am a ninja, or I am a magician, talk about it as if it is someone else who gave you that particular title. Because I don't think there is inherently anything wrong with the words. I think it is the problem is when you use it to describe yourself, that's where the trouble comes in. Okay. Okay. I don't use any. I describe myself as a chaotic kaleidoscope. That's awesome. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So moving on to the next one, which will be very interesting, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Okay. So when someone uses these terms to refer to their competition, what are your first thoughts, right? So if someone wants to talk about their competition, and I am a huge believer in talking about your competition. I'm a huge believer in acknowledging your competition, because just because you close your eyes towards competition, just because you pretend there is no competition, does not mean that the competition goes away, right? We all have competition. And even when we're not competing against a certain entity, we're still competing against a no. So we are constantly competing against something, and it is important to acknowledge what you're competing against. And basically what I wanted to see was that when people talk about their competition, they use sometimes very harsh words, right? But somehow that has become the norm. People just refer to their competition and they use really negative, sometimes derogatory terms. And I wanted to see why they do it. Do they do it because it works? Do they do it because it makes them shine? Do they do it because it really discredits their competition? Or do they do it because they're just mean people? Right? Sometimes people just do this because they are just really mean people. That's what they do. So here are the terms that I tested: manipulative, dishonest, corrupting, malicious, scammy tactics. You are right and they are wrong. So, or a variable of this, you're right and they're wrong. Okay, so I'll repeat those again: manipulative, dishonest, corrupting, malicious, scammy tactics, and you are right and they are wrong. Okay, any guesses on which ones made the reader believe in you more? Develop a positive association with your brand, because that's what we try to do, right? That's what we're trying to do. That's why we use these words. They do it because it hurts them. Okay, so tell me. I want to know. Which ones do you think had the impact that we're trying to look for, right? We use this because we are trying to, I swear I took a shower this morning. I don't know why I'm so itchy. I promise I take a shower every day, but I don't know why I'm so itchy. Maybe it's because it's too hot. But I promise I'm not itchy because I'm unclean, I promise. Okay. So I want to know your point of views. Which ones do you think? Okay. Yes, I agree. I agree. I think what's important is to draw a comparison. So again, that this is a more an ideological debate, but I agree with you. And it's what's important is to draw a comparison into why you're different. So in us versus them, absolutely draw a comparison. You need to be absolutely sure as to why you're different. But you need to do that. You need to do that comparison, because if you don't do that, then your prospective buyer is going to do that comparison in their head, and you don't want that, because when they do that comparison in their head, they may not arrive at the conclusion that you want them to arrive at. So you should be doing that comparison. But should you be using these harsh words to discredit your competition? Because so many people are using it, and it's become so common that I really wanted to see how people react to it. Okay, come on, some guesses, people. You have to give me some guesses. Guesses. Okay. I want to know what the guesses are. Come on. So I'm just going to wait for a minute. You know what? I think I probably should be looking at this on my phone rather than trying to look at on my computer. Okay, if my phone would ever, open. Okay. Okay, now you'll hear my creaky voice. Please don't be. Okay. Okay, I can't associate who use such words for others in their competition. Repeat the choices again. I'm going to repeat the choices. Manipulative, dishonest, corrupting, malicious, scammy or scammy tactics, and you're right and they are wrong. You're right, they're wrong. I think they feel like they belong to a secret club or drop. Okay. Any more guesses? Let's talk about which one are the winners, because if you are going to be talking about your competition, then which I think you should acknowledge the competition, but you need to know what words you should be using, right? So I think I would stay away from any of these choices. Okay. Hey, Wendy. Hi, darling. Okay, Angela, you personally would stay away from any of these choices, but I want to know, because again, there is a difference between having your own personal opinion about a certain thing, which is absolutely important. That's why we're in business. But the other thing is, what does your gut feeling say about which one of these phrases? Because there is a winning phrase in this. And I want to know what your gut feeling says about which phrase would be the winning phrase. Okay, malicious or corruptive. Okay, because again, you may not want to use them, but it's good to know which one works and which does not. Scammy tactics. Okay, you're right and they're wrong. Yes. Okay, so Marjolaine and Angela are right. The only phrase that had people click, so I'll just tell you the choices that I had. So I basically said, what would make you believe, that's absolutely right? I can trust that statement. And the others were, it's a bit harsh, it's a lame way to make a point, it's off-putting. Every other phrase was considered off-putting. So now this is coming from someone who does not know what your business is, who does not know what your competition is. But just the first emotional response to terms that are that strong, corruptive or malicious, that people just throw around these words all the time. The first initial emotional response to these is that they're off-putting, or that they are a lame way to make a point. So just for you to know that it is important to point out the difference between you and your competition, but don't do it using such harsh words, because they might not know your competition, they might not know you right now, but the first emotional response is negative, and that's not what we want at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to leave you. And again, my understanding of why you're right, they're wrong works is because it does what Marjolaine said. it does make me feel like, it does make my pain, it does validate my pain, right? It does make me feel heard. It does make me feel like someone knows what I'm going through, because human nature is, when we are faced with failure, we want someone to blame, right? We're looking for someone to blame. And if we blame ourselves, then we're not going to buy your stuff. So, and purely from a persuasion perspective, if you don't want them to start blaming themselves, because if they start blaming themselves and they start wallowing in self-pity, then they will not buy, because they will think, oh my God, I'm a loser. I'm just not cut out for this. My life is over. I've always been like this. You don't want them to go through that state. So the state that you want them in, the emotional state that you want them in, is the state where it's like, I have been wronged. I have not had the solution that I was looking for. And this statement, this sentence validates that. It makes them feel like, oh my God, my pain is validated. Someone actually cares. Someone actually understands how I've been wronged. And I think that really is the thing that sets this apart. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up. I don't even know how long I've been talking, but if you want to get access to the full list, then you can join 60-Second Persuasion. Again, it's not the full list. It's only the cheat sheet with winning phrases. But I will be doing a webinar on all the phrases, the methodology behind all phrases, the findings, and then my conclusions based on those findings for each one of these phrases. It's called Language of Persuasion Seminar. I will be doing it in a week or so. But in the meantime, if you join 60-Second Persuasion, which you should do, because as soon as I'm done with this, I will put up the PDF with the cheat sheet in the group. I will pin it to the top of the group so you can have access to it. And if you're in the group, you will hear all about the Language of Persuasion seminar, which is happening hopefully next week. Yes, I will be doing it next week, where I'll be sharing all the findings. So that'll be awesome. I promise that'll be awesome. So this is Bushra Azhar signing off. I hope you enjoyed an insight into my crazy psycho-human experiment, because I'm really excited about this. How are you using Zoom to go on Facebook Live? If you use Zoom webinars and you have the latest version of Zoom installed, you can go live on Zoom. So Zoom webinars and the latest version of Zoom is installed on your computer. You can go live. Once you start the webinar, you can go live from your computer. And yeah, that's it. My phone just did something. Okay, so take care, everyone. Give me a few hearts if you found this of value. Share this with others, because this information is important. We need to stop using lame words. We need to start using words that actually have a positive association, that get the right emotional impact. And that's really what Language of Persuasion is all about. So the Language of Persuasion cheat sheet is going to be pinned to the top of 60-Second Persuasion. You can check it out. And I will see you really soon in the group and around on the internet very soon. You take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.